Issa! What the fuck? Damn! Really? That's what you want to do, Issa? Welcome to my Bouch. This is a special episode. I can't believe this shit. Let's get to it. Our first duo will be T from episode 3 and Olinka from episode 7. Hi, ladies. How are you? So, there's a reason why I put you ladies together. Every duo has a story. Do you know why I put you guys together?
Because we worked out together.
I have no idea.
T, what do you have? What do you think?
I have no idea.
It's because I told both of y'all that there was a break, baby. And y'all didn't believe me. Both episodes. I told y'all. Y'all, they didn't believe me. I was trying to put them on. I wasn't sure at the end either. But yep, and they didn't believe me. And here we are with break, baby. Ladies, let's talk about Condola. One, what the fuck? That's not really the question, but what the fuck? Now, do we think that Condola knew about this baby before we found out about her?
Most definitely.
Like before this episode?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
When do you think she found out?
I actually think when she was calling on episode 9, was it episode 9? Or was it episode 8 when they was like doing it? I think that's when she knew. She was calling to tell him.
So I'm hoping that she didn't know, because I feel like that would be really messed up to hold on to that information for like quite some time. And then, you know, like between episodes, you really don't kind of know exactly like how much time is passing. So like, I don't know, she held on to that for like a couple weeks. That's not cool. But initially when the idea that she could be pregnant, which she is, came out, like I just figured like she would have had to have told him right away. So she didn't. I feel like that's really messed up.
Do you think she was trying to tell him, like Olinka was saying, do you think she was trying to tell him by like, hey, do you want to meet up can you meet up this evening? It was the same day they were on the date? Like, was she trying, but Lawrence just wasn't giving her?
I mean, in retrospect, if she did know that she was pregnant, then yes. I would think that she was trying to tell him. But then they ended up meeting up anyways, right? So like, or they ended up talking anyways.
Right, I don't
She didn't
get
say anything, so.
So if we don't think the Condola side, do we think Lawrence was telling the truth the entire way with his relationship with Condola? Do you think he was being honest with Issa as it relates to Condola?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they were doing it.
That don't mean shit.
I mean, a baby comes from doing it.
Oh, you mean you're thinking back all the way to the first episode?
Yeah, well, I'm saying they were in a relationship. And I'm thinking, like, because they were in a relationship, not to say that just because you're in a relationship, you're gonna do it.
Right.
But I do think that there was a possibility. There's always a possibility.
He said they were being safe, which made me think and hope that there were condoms. Maybe because he get chlamydia before?
They wasn't.
He got some STD. Yeah. What you about to say, Olinka?
The thing is, he asked her, I thought we were, didn't he say something along the line like, I thought we were safe. So that doesn't necessarily mean that he was safe. He put it in her hands for her to make sure that they were safe.
Well, ladies, we got some results. In the case of, did Condola know she was pregnant when she wrote Lawrence and asked him to come over? Prentice Penny has determined that that's a lie. He answered all these questions for us, guys, and he said Condola found out between episode 9 and episode 10. I want to be like, do we believe that? But that makes me more hopeful that Condola isn't like hiding it from him, and maybe he didn't Lawrence didn't double down, and he's being honest.
So I totally feel like after that conversation with Lawrence and Issa, when they went out and had that whole experience at night, I feel like after that they were super, super transparent with each other. So that's why I felt like if Condola was calling him off the hook that day, like if she didn't know that day, then I would understand her telling him later. But if she knew, like to think that she even knew that day and didn't share that with him, that would have truly been messed up, and that would have been so messed up.
I mean, stranger things have happened. So guys, people are going back and forth, right? Condola has given us a reason why she wants to keep the baby. Everyone has a reason why she shouldn't. Can we argue both points? Or not argue, but let me understand reasons why she should or why she shouldn't. And just for people out there, but shouldn't, I don't mean, that could mean abortion if that's your jam. That could mean adoption. That could mean whatever it means, okay? No judgments. Give me your reasons for why you think she should do either or.
I mean, I think she made her own case. She said that I'm at this space in life, and I'm also, I don't know if she referred to age, but I can only imagine at being at my particular age that if you are blessed with a child, first of all, Condola already said that she could take care of her child. She already said, I got this. I got this, okay? So I do think that probably at the age that she's in, or the stage of life that she's in, you know, getting rid of a child or not having the child is probably not on the table. It's not on the table. And I think that as a woman, you know, we have that choice, and we should be able to make that choice based on, you know, our circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. T, do you agree?
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I mean, we know what storyline we want, right? Like, we want Issa and Lawrence to be together. So taking that out of the equation is crazy, because on Facebook I saw that one of my friends wrote something where she was in the same exact situation that Condola was in, where like she got pregnant and she wanted to keep this baby. And so, you know, it's also there's so many factors, and I think Olinka laid it out like it could be age, it could be the stage of life that she's in. She can take care of the baby on her own. Like, that's her body, her choice. You know what I mean? Like, I get why she would want to keep the baby. I think we're all thinking about the storylines. I think that's kind of like what that blow is about.
Yeah, I mean, people are feeling some way like, why would you do it? You weren't ready. Look, this, I gotta change my tone because it really shows what side I believe. So let me calm that down. People are saying things like, why would she keep a baby with a guy who she knows she's not gonna be with, who she, you know, is no longer in a relationship with, and that she wasn't ready when she had her husband? Why would she do it now? She gave Lawrence the option. And we're gonna talk about Lawrence in another segment, but she gave Lawrence the option. You can be as involved as you want, but as for me, I want this baby.
But can I just say something about that option really quick? Because I felt like I didn't care for the option. Like, I feel like I'm on, I don't know where I am in my thought process, but like, to tell him like you can either be there or not, like, look at the type of guy that he is. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna be there, right? Like,
I don't know. At this point, I feel like if Issa said to him, cool, she can have that baby, don't be involved, like on some Rashida shit. Come on, Rashida Kirk. Lawrence might be like, yes.
No, y'all. She's a grown woman. And I think that probably when the time she was married versus where she is now, she has grown into her womanhood. And I also think that was a defense mechanism by saying, like, you could choose, you could be here or not, I got it. You know what I mean? And I also think that was like that independence, you know, coming through. But I don't think that, we think we know how Lawrence is, right? We want to believe that Lawrence is better than, you know, trash ass guys. However, he's just now getting himself together.
Well, y'all, we will talk about Lawrence in a couple of segments now, actually. I want to say in 2 more segments with a whole new group. So stay tuned and let's figure this out. Hopefully, because Lawrence ain't got it figured out. So let's figure this the fuck out. I need y'all to update season 5 based on what we say, please. Thank you and good night. Thanks for joining me, ladies. Thanks so much.
thank you for having us.
So joining us next are ladies from episode 3 and episode 4, Dominique and Naila. Hi, ladies. How are you? Welcome back to my Bouch. Are you happy to be here?
Of course. Yes. Thank you.
We love having you. By we, I just mean me, because sorry, that's it. There's no production team. I'm glad to have you back. As you know, everyone is going to be talking about a specific subject in a single topic. So ladies, Do you know why I paired you two together?
I have some guesses.
What are your guesses?
I would
feel
say
like there's an easy
because
one, but-
we're friends,
You're...
I feel like we might be talking about Molly and Issa's friendship.
That's good. Dominique, what you got?
I thought it was because of our birthdays.
It's actually because we both, all three of us, are connected because of our friend Odamia, who just had a baby. And we want to be better human beings than these trash women on Insecure who weren't able to recognize postpartum depression. Ladies, not that our friend has that, but how can we be better friends? Because these women were complete and utter trash.
Yeah.
Ladies, I don't know if, I'm just a survey of one here. I don't know if the postpartum depression storyline was executed correctly. I felt like it took up 75 minutes of the last episode and in a extremely crazy way. How do you guys feel about how that extremely important topic in the Black community especially was managed in this episode, was executed in this episode?
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I mean, I think that it was poorly executed because they didn't flesh it out. It felt like it was something that was definitely consistently coming up, but it was like, you know, the baby was born, she was clearly showing some signs of postpartum. She, you know, the block party happened and she was really trying to, you know, enjoy that time with herself, sort of coming back into the world after having her child. And then it was like the next 4 episodes, I feel like she wasn't even in them. And then all of a sudden, the last episode, she disappears. And so I really just think they didn't do a good job of giving it the light that it deserved and really fleshing out the story and the background around that.
So Didi, what do you think we needed as viewers to push that story home?
I think as viewers, we needed a more clear build-up. Because it wasn't until we got to the last episode that we actually realized. I know for me, it didn't dawn on me that she had postpartum. When she was at the block party, I thought she was just doing what a new mom would do, like been in the house with the baby, because you can't really take the baby out, and I'm ready to have some fun. I'm here with my friends, I'm at my friend's event, you take the baby home, I'm gonna take a breather. I didn't pick up on that as a symptom of potential postpartum. So it really did come more as a shock.
Yeah.
And I think there should have been more hints along the way. I get that they didn't want it to be so depressing. They didn't want it to be so much of a downer.
Yeah.
So that there wasn't much of a focus on it. But it would have been better presented if there were more signs along the way.
Yeah. I mean, we saw bits and pieces of it, right? Like you said, the block party scene, when they were in the house, when they were helping to do the baby's laundry, she was like, I don't really like the baby unless she's sleeping or whatever she said, right? And I think it was Molly or somebody who was like, girl, are you okay? But then we as viewers didn't really hear about it. There wasn't a lot of, conversation, whether from Derek, who is my favorite on there, or from Tiffany. It was just brushed to the side. And we as viewers every week were like, does she have postpartum? What are we gonna do with that? I feel like so much of the finale focused on that, and we were kind of left like, did you guys just rush us to get here? Like, what else did we need? Now, Didi, you said you didn't recognize that as postpartum. Did you get that from the episode? Because it was never specifically called out. No one ever said the words postpartum depression.
But in the final episode, it was clear. Her just taking off and going missing and then reliving all of these spots that the girls went to when they had fun was clearly, okay, she's suppressed. And it's connected to her recent birth. This is postpartum. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the signs, which is typical. That's a part of this too.
Exactly.
People around you are not going to recognize the signs.
Yeah, and that's really where I want to get to, right? Because as I mentioned in the beginning, we share a common friend who just had a baby, right? I would love to believe that we'd be better than the women on the show, whether we were having our own separate conflict, right? I would hope that we would be able to come together for Odami and be like, are you okay? So what would you do differently if you were a Molly or Issa or a Kelly? What would you do differently to handle that situation?
I mean, I think what I would do differently is I would have checked in with her prior to this moment even. Like, I don't even think that it would have gotten this bad without me acknowledging if she was okay. And so, because I think what I saw happening was that there was a lot of showing up to be present for her, like for the baby, like, you know, helping to fold things and holding the baby and things like that. But it felt like there wasn't much awareness for connecting with their friend. And so I think it's really just about consistently sort of checking in, like, obviously how is motherhood and how are you doing with that, but also just like on a basic level, how are you doing emotionally and all the things that come along with motherhood? What is that doing to you?
Yeah.
Agreed. There's a lot of attention that goes on the baby. There's the excitement of the baby that people lose sight of. You know, the mom is recovering right now. You know, she is physically healing, she is mentally adjusting, she's emotionally healing. So as a friend, you do have to do that check-in of how is the baby, but how are you? What do you know? How are you managing things? It's important.
Well, thank you, ladies. I know this was very serious for my Bouch. I'll talk about like penises and vaginas later on in the episode, so don't leave us. But we did want to touch on this because it's very important in the Black community. We don't like to really talk about mental health, which is, you know, we had the conversation about bipolar, but we really want to dive into what was really trying to be conveyed this season as it relates to Tiffany. So thank you, ladies, for talking about that. And Odamia, we got you. Thanks for joining me, ladies. See you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Okay, for this segment, we will be joined by Nzinga from episode 8 and Stephanie from episode 6. Hey. And also, it sounds like the fireworks from Street 118. Okay? Excuse me for that. Welcome to the hood. Ladies, are you excited to be here again?
I'm excited for the fireworks.
I'm excited
to talk about this episode. Like, for real.
So, there's a reason why I paired you two together. Do you have any speculations as to why? I'd like to hear from both of you.
We're Team Issa.
Okay, what do you got? What do you have, Nzinga?
I think Stephanie was in my sister's episode.
Okay. It's actually, that ain't it, but I love the rumor. It's actually two reasons.
Okay.
First is because your 2 episodes are the most watched episodes.
Whoa, look at us, being great and whatnot.
You guys gave me the first over 100 views on YouTube, right? We popping on Instagram, but y'all are my first over 100. And y'all are both at 102, so nobody is better than the other. But yes, to your 2 episodes. And the second reason is because you all are insecure historians. So, we will be testing your history.
That is true. Very true.
So, I don't know how, I really don't have a prize for this, but I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Okay, let's start off easily. How many episodes have there been in total of Insecure? Come on. Oh, I should have said if there were like Family Feud rules, like, or Jeopardy
have
rules.
it. I'm graceful.
40.
No.
What do you have?
34.
What you got? 34, yep.
Okay.
This is the first season where there's been 10 episodes.
Okay.
Every other season has been 8. I don't know why I'm gonna keep score, but maybe I'll give you a
We're all winners here. We're just sharing knowledge.
I like your spirit, Stephanie. I like your spirit.
How old is Issa D? Stephanie?
31. Today. In season 4.
Okay, Nzinga, what you got?
I'm going with 30. She's 30.
She's 30. All right, we're 1-1. How much time has passed from season 1 till now? In real life. Nzinga?
2 years.
Stephanie, what you got?
Well, so that's the correct answer for the show.
The show.
But
Is that?
in real time.
Who got the answers? Who got the answer? How you gonna tell me? Who got the answers?
She talks about for the show.
She said, no, let me tell you. Stephanie, what you got?
I think from start to finish it's 4 in real
No,
time.
not in real life years, in like the season years.
Yeah, I'm with 2. I would say 2 as well.
Okay, it's 1 year and 8 months, but that's cool, so I'm giving that to nobody.
1 year and how many
Y'all, it's
months?
only a year and 8 months, even though it's been 4 years. So
Right.
Issa Rae is like 34, 30, she's 35. But on the show, she's actually only 30 because her character started when she was 29. So people tend to think, oh, she's been dealing with this Lauren shit back and forth for so long. But y'all, it's been a year.
A year and 8 months though, we can round that up.
Oh, to give that to you?
To both
You
of
see
us.
how, remember Stephanie when she was like, oh, there's no prizes? This one is for the historians of the group. So everyone has a first and last name in the show. So I am going to start with Nzinga. Pick the characters we care about. Not like Frida from season 1. I don't even know what Frida's last name is, but don't give me the little white girl from We Got Y'all. Give me someone's first and last name. Who you got first?
Issa D.
Issa D, nice and easy.
Amal D.
You know what?
That
That should
smart.
have been in your pocket.
You smart, real smart. Low key, those are the only last names I know.
That's not true.
Kelly Prinny.
Oh, that's true.
Kelly
Pretty. But I feel like I just learned that this episode.
Me too this season, right? When she's like, hello. That was my Spanish voicemail. What's Molly's name? You know Molly's name. Stephanie.
Sorry. Teamwork?
Go ahead,
Teamwork.
Stephanie.
Teamwork.
Does anyone know Condola's last name?
Are we really talking about her?
Girl,
Who?
unfortunately.
Right.
She just infiltrated her way into this next season.
Measles her way into a paycheck for season 5. I'm so upset about that.
All right, Lawrence, does anybody know? You can give me his real first name or his last name.
It's Martin.
It's Martin.
But I can't think of his last name.
It's Martin Walker. Martin Lawrence Walker. Anyone know Tiffany is real bougie?
Bourgeois.
Almost. It's Dubois.
Dubois.
I was gonna say Dubois. I'm gonna get that to you. So with that, Nzinga, you know another character's name now. If you know Tiffany's last name, you also know her.
Her husband. But I'm blanking on his first name. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes, Derek Dubois. Thank you.
So now I have one, which is Simone Dubois.
Who that? The baby?
That's the baby.
I ain't even Simone.
Yes. Get Simone a paycheck.
Who's the series named after? My Bouch. Where does that come
Oh,
from?
the guy. The blood. The guy.
What's his name?
Damn, he pronounced everything with a B.
Doug Yoda. Yo, Stephanie is eating.
Yeah,
Stephanie, we gotta get you a hobby.
I wasn't ready.
Ridiculous.
I love Doug Yoda.
Me too. Okay, by the way, Condola's last name is Hayes. Do we think the baby's last name is gonna be Hayes or Walker?
Hayes.
That bitch
Yo,
shady.
Nzinga
She
hates
might
that I'm
just
talking
do
about.
Walker. She might just do Walker. She's shady.
Nobody's gonna get these. Well, actually, Stephanie, do you have any others?
No.
Daniel King, Chad Kirk, Nathan Campbell, Andrew Tan, Torian Jackson, and I said Condola Hayes. Name one of the shows within the show.
Oh, Kevin.
Finding Latoya.
Due North.
I don't think I can compete with Stephanie. She really on it.
This is one that I don't know if the audience knows, but I mean, actually, probably Stephanie. Stephanie is a secret writer for Insecure or researcher.
I wish.
Do we know who on the show actually has bipolar? Like in real life? Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Nathan.
I am gonna go with Jay Ellis. Let's go there.
So it is actually Andrew, Asian Babe, whatever his real name. Which is interesting because he just did an interview and he mentioned how it was interesting seeing it on the other side, right? Because now he's not dealing with it on his own, but he's actually looking at his friend, his roommate who's going through it. So it's interesting for him to see it from a different lens. Fun fact, what are the origins of Condola's name? Yep.
That's Felicia Rashad's daughter's name.
Yes. Why did she pick Felicia Rashad's daughter's name? Stephanie, do you know?
Kind of. It's like Claire Huxtable was the ideal wife, and what type of woman might Lawrence want to go for? And so it's Felicia Rashad, then her daughter, because Felicia is too old for Lawrence.
No.
I did
Now
know
Stephanie. That's it. Now Stephanie, were you the smart kid in class, and then when the teacher, everybody thought you were the teacher's pet, and so you tried to front like you didn't really know the answer? Because that's what you did right now, but you knew the exact answer.
So I was the bad kid who talked at the back of class, but kind of teacher's pet too. So I never
Right.
got in trouble.
because you knew too much. Name some cast members, so not the main cast, but name some cast members who we, in past seasons, kind of like recurring ones, right? That we haven't seen this season.
Jared?
Shorty from the bank who was real thirsty with the hot sauce in the purse. I can't think of her name though.
Tasha, yep.
Tasha.
Dro.
Oh, Daniel.
Aparna.
Jadena.
Candace.
Candace? Who's Candace?
Dro's wife.
Oh, fuck her. Sorry. So I'm gonna give you Frida and Quentin. So who of those cast members that we didn't see this season, that we've seen in seasons past, right, that have had substantial roles, who was your favorite and who do you want to see in season 5?
I will say Daniel.
Why do you want to see him, Stephanie?
I want to see him.
Daniel ain't nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. Low-key, I have no favorite like bays. I would want Issa to pick up George from a lift again. Like, even though that was just like community service, I would want George to like get a lift ride with Issa. Like, that scene gave me complete life.
What if she picked up Charles next?
Just pick up a bunch of old niggas all day, Issa. Like that I'll dedicate 30 minutes to that. Oh, a character I want to see for season 5, definitely Dr. Rhonda. We need to see Molly in therapy. Dr. Rhonda needs a recurring role, at least 5 episodes for season 5.
2 more questions for the insecure historians. Do you remember the phrases that were used in the naming of the episodes?
So season 4 was definitely low key.
AF.
Yup, that was season 1.
Go for it. Help a sister out.
Hella.
Yep. And then the last one is like from season 3. Before we go, ladies, rank your seasons in order of the ones that you liked the best, right? Best on top, least on the bottom.
I am going to go 3, 4, 1, 2. And 3 is my favorite because that Coachella episode, like,
You love that.
I love the Coachella episode. Like, I literally watched it over and over and over again. Like, that is the most epic Insecure episode. 4, because we got to see our characters develop. Like, they took time on character development. 1, that's because we were introduced to Insecure. 2, I really, like, as much as all the women, like, love Daniel, I just could not stand seeing Issa sleeping on his couch, then sleeping in his bed, then on his couch. Like,
Girl.
I wasn't really here for that.
I'm with you. Stephanie, what you got?
I have to agree. It was hard for me. I think I would say my instinct was to just say 1, 2, 3, 4 real fast because they all number 1 for me for different reasons. But also I can't follow rules. But yeah, I agree with your ranking. I have enjoyed, like, I think each of the seasons. 3 is probably one of my favorites. But season 4 has such good episodes. And just like the cinematography, like the technical aspects of it were really great too. It wasn't just only the storytelling, it was the technical aspects of it were amazing.
Great. Well, ladies, thanks for joining us. I hope season 5 is now number 1 for us and everyone. I don't even know what the hell they're going to bring, but we're going to talk about it later. Thanks, ladies, for joining us. These are your insecure historians, researchers. I know Nzinga felt like she was put on the spot, but if you scroll back to her episode, she had an answer for everything. Some shit that I didn't even have researched, and I've watched these episodes 250,000 times. So, your insecure researcher, historians, archivists. Thanks for joining me, ladies. Bye. This is the season finale, so we're gonna do things a little differently. So, what's your question for the next group of people?
So I'm gonna say, since this is a culminating type of thing in the season finale, you've seen a lot. And there's been a lot of growth this season.
Yeah.
So, or lack thereof. So,
Molly.
I'm gonna ask like a 2-part question. So, whose growth or lack thereof do you see yourself in? And whose growth or lack thereof can you learn something from?
Oh, I like the self-reflection. Oh, I like this.
Yes.
Do you want to answer that? Who answer that? Yeah.
So, I see in in Molly's lack thereof growth, like I can be really set in my ways, and that is something that I am working on.
Are you a Capricorn?
No, I'm a Cancer.
You cry a lot. No.
I do not. Okay, I'm a thug. We in June. We good. We got enough Gemini in us to be crazy. So it's like I don't want to be too rigid in my standards that I can't flex for somebody. So that's just a reminder of how being so caught on essentially what the therapist said, being right, that you're not able to be in relationship with people. Because what is more important, like saying I told you so, or having your people? And that's more important. And like it's just a reminder to not fall back into that like type of habit. And like Issa's growth really inspired me, and because Issa and Nathan. Issa because like she's really going after her dream, and I feel like I'm getting to that point in my life and my business where I'm like just doing it, and like Nathan with his acceptance of, you know, his mental illness, and as y'all see I got on oxygen. I ain't mentioned it because girl, it's what it is. But I have a chronic illness that like I'm like, it is what it is. I'm okay with it, whatever it is for you. I'm very happy that I know about it because I'm living, so it's all good. But that, like, being able to accept what's happening to you or what is going on with you and move past it is very important. It has been important for me, so I really kind of see what's going on with them, and I'm like, I feel you. I feel
like you team Issa and Nathan.
I feel like I might be. As I'm like talking through all of this, it's like,
So for this segment, we will be joined by Latasha from episode 2 and Whitney from episode 9. Welcome back, ladies. How are you?
Good.
I feel like Whitney, the seat is still warm. Like you were just here.
Just here.
So ladies, there's a reason why I pair everyone together. Can you guess the reason I paired you two together?
Episode 2 and 9, the ones before the beginning and the end, or after?
Yeah. Oh, you know who thought of it? You were my Bouch guest, Latasha, and Whitney. You were my last.
That's smart.
So this is literally a beginning and the end. I know. There's no prize. Sorry, we just played a game and I had no prize either. My bad.
You smart. You important.
So ladies, what I want to talk to you about, and you have a nice juicy section. I want to talk about Lawrence.
Oh,
Cause this shit, blew me.
Let's talk.
Me all the way. So let's get right into it. I got about 5 questions for y'all.
good child.
1, was Lawrence out of line for asking Condola if it was his baby?
No,
I don't think so either. I don't think he was out of line either. Because they worked together for a moment. So you don't know what happened in that time, who was with who, things like that. So the idea that he would have to ask the question is valid. What I think though, guys, is a lot of I might be jumping ahead. I don't know what your next questions are. Maybe I should relax. Maybe I should cool my jets. But a lot of it was how Lawrence was asking things. It was very accusatory, like, is it mine?
Ooh.
I mean, he was shocked, y'all. Like, you know when somebody come at you out of left field, especially with something that crazy, you gonna get on your defensive, even if you got sense. Lawrence might not fully have sense, so being like, somebody be like, guess what? We ain't together, but guess what I'm about to do is have your baby.
Have your baby.
Like,
a whole child. Now, did Lawrence know that Condola was pregnant before he told Issa? Like before that episode?
No, I don't think so.
I want to say he didn't, but people keep bringing up things that were saying, well, what did they talk about before? Because they did have that whole scene, I don't remember what episode it was, where she kept texting.
Yep.
And people were like, well, maybe when he said we talked, why didn't she tell him then? But it's possible that she didn't even know then. Possible. So for the sake of the fact that I'm now back and Lawrence is now back in my good graces, because I was not a fan after season 1. Okay. I'm gonna go with He ain't know.
That's how, honestly, because in Whitney's episode, I thought she was Team Lawrence, but she ended up Team Nathan. And I know you were not Team Lawrence, so I'm like, this is about to be something.
It's just, I mean, we gonna give these people they justice in terms of logic, but Lawrence can't hold water. Like, his facial expressions give away everything, good, bad, or ugly. You can't even really read him half the time because his face is just changing all the time. So I don't think he knew, because the way he looked so solemn when he went to tell her, that would have shown up before. And he was too happy, jovial, whatever, lovey-dovey to have known. If anybody was to sneak in that, it's Condola. If he had that night with Issa and then went to talk to Condola, it could have been like, me and Issa back together. And that could have stopped her from telling him then, because she could have been thinking about it.
That's very, you know what? Yeah. Look, boom, you did that. Because I ain't think about that.
Right? I didn't think about that either. Like, is Condola, is she... I mean, look, Princess Penny came out and said that Condola didn't know that she was pregnant then, which is also weird because they said, was Condola pregnant then? He said no. The question is, did she know she was pregnant then? I think that's what he meant, is that she didn't know that she was pregnant when she was texting him late at night, that she found out between episode 9 and episode 10. But I like your view, because I mean, the writers can go anywhere. I wonder if Condola's shady ass, who we now gotta see again, if she was like, oh, that's cute, maybe she would have aborted the baby, aborted an adoption, done whatever with the baby, whatever her preference is, before she was so fucking spiteful and was like, oh, Issa back with the man that she told me she was done with? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have his baby.
I wonder, okay, devil's advocate.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Every now and then, just to we love other women. Is Condola as terrible as we all feel like she is, or is it just because she's dating our imaginary best friend's man?
Is that?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because I liked Condola at first.
Okay.
Like, I did. And she became Lawrence's worst nightmare, essentially, and Issa's eventually, the second that she realized that he had been in a long-term relationship with Issa. When they were having their friendship, Issa was trying to make it work. She was like, I'm not trying to be about drama. We know that's her thing this season or whatever. But the second that they Lawrence told her, we were together 5 years, her whole attitude towards it changed. And towards him. Because Lawrence got questioned at the thing he invited himself to, at the Thanksgiving he invited himself to, about Issa. So she had been thinking about it from, we were together 5 years, all the way up to Thanksgiving, for her to throw it out there. Would you have broken up with her? And then she don't show up for Issa at her event that you planning with her and looking funny. She already was not happy with Lawrence and Issa.
I mean, I can understand it, but I don't know if I'm Team Condola. I mean,
I'm absolutely not. Nobody's Team some people are Team Condola.
I'm not on that team. I'm not on that team. I'm not on that team.
She's like, just to clear that up.
I'm not on that team. I just, women break other women down, and I'm trying for us not to do that. Women, we love other women.
Yeah, and Condola could have been that we love other women person if she continued to show up for Issa, regardless, and Issa could have different feelings about the whole situation if this was truly somebody she had formed a bond with. It might be more emotionally messy, but him having a baby, Lawrence having a baby with somebody that screwed you over, girl.
So how does Lawrence fix that? If you were Lawrence right now, right? Obviously Lawrence wants to be with Issa. What is he doing? Condola left the door open. She said you can be as involved or as not involved as you want, If you were Lawrence and your goal was to be with Issa, what would you do there? And then the other side of that is, how could Lawrence get Issa back from all of this? Because that scene with Issa, she was looking like, ain't no coming back from this. What y'all got? Shit, nothing? He can't do nothing? Lawrence was sorry?
Okay, Lawrence, let me give you something. So
Talk to him.
I think he needs to give her space because again, just like he heard it and was defensive, she heard it and then automatically you go into protection mode. I can't deal with all of this, so I'm moving away from it. So
She just got into a good place, so
yeah, she was searching for a happy and found it, and then now it's like scattered. But she would have to bring those pieces back and to be okay with it in herself outside of him. But he should definitely stand on the periphery, like
as soon as he steps out, she gonna step into Nathan.
Yeah, don't let Nathan. That's what he needs to do is make sure Nathan don't find out. That's Lawrence. Make sure Nathan don't find out because he gonna slide right in there like the end of Thriller. Like, girl, I got you.
make sure Nathan don't find out and Nathan stay on his meds. It's over. It's over.
So what do you think Lawrence needs to do?
I agree. There's nothing that Lawrence can do. This is a thing that Issa has to wrap her own mind around, right? Because Lawrence is, if he's a good person, because I believe that he has to be there for the child because he knows about the child. It's not like I don't know about this kid. Oh my goodness. He knows who this child is. So he has to be present in this child's life. Issa has to find a way for her to be okay with immediately being a stepmom.
Yeah.
Right, because
Exactly.
you can't, if you seriously date someone who has children with the intention to get married, you need to seriously think about the fact that you are stepping into being someone's bonus parent.
Yeah. So my last question is, right now, Lawrence is, I don't know if he would be thinking correctly. It seems like right now he would do anything for Issa D. Remember, and Condola left this up to him, really, right? She gave him the option. If Issa said, sure, I'll be with you, but I don't want you having any involvement with that child, would Lawrence do it?
I would hope not.
No, he wouldn't?
No.
He wouldn't. Woo! We gotta watch season 5, y'all. This has been great. Thank you, ladies. This is Lawrence. We are so... I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry. Shit happens. I have no idea where this is gonna go, but I hope we gave y'all writers some ideas because
Please take them.
I don't know. Take them, Lauren. Take our hands. Kill Nathan. You have to. That's the only solution.
Yeah, because it's a good option B. That red bone. It's a good option.
Thanks, ladies. All right, we'll see you in season 5. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna close out. This is so sad. This is the last segment of my Bouch for season 4, but I'm excited to have you ladies close it out. So we will be joined by Bianca from episode 5 and Dara from episode 8. Do you know why I put you two ladies together?
Because we're queens from Queens.
You better
That's
let
true
them
as
know.
well. You know what I also forgot in the
Let 'em
intro?
know.
Bianca has on a jersey dress. No, just joking. From Jamaica.
Played you.
From the Coliseum, actually. Thank you.
From the Coliseum.
Coliseum block.
Are we Molly haters?
I don't think so. I don't know.
It's because we're both from Lawrenceville and we need to stick together more than ever now because shit is hitting the fucking fan. Okay.
Okay. And
All right, y'all. We need to
because we were black at Lawrenceville.
Oh my God.
And prep for prep.
Yeah, and Prep for Prep Queens, Lawrenceville. There's a lot of common threads here. We gotta stick together in this whole shit.
Together.
Stick to fucking together. So ladies, you guys, I don't know if you have seen, but there's a lot of speculation about where we want to take, where we want to go with episode 5 because there's a lot, right? They've left the door open for a lot to explore. And people asked Princess Penny most recently, why do the pregnancy, right? I was concerned because I'm like, please don't write in a break baby. Like, I just want to see some regular ass black love. But he also mentioned regular ass black love is not good television, right? Excuse me, not let me say it like that. It's good television because we want to see black love. But we also want to see some twists and turns. Otherwise,
People love drama.
we would just, we love drama. Otherwise, we would be on TV right now. So there have been, and he said the reason we chose pregnancy is because it involves something that we want to touch on for next season. So now, that could be, people have speculated, that could be, do we want to go into a miscarriage, right? That's something that's very common that Black women don't talk about. Do we want to go into Issa being pregnant too? Are we going to have hood twins? Do we want to do we want to talk about maybe Black women in health, like in health related situations, how our voices aren't heard? And then there's the other side of things where people have talked about they want to develop some of the characters. I think on your episode we actually talked, we don't really know much about Kelly. Like, can we go deeper into that? So maybe having like a college days episode, right? A college days season maybe. My question for you ladies is, because I know you've got a lot of imagination and opinions, what do you want to see next season? What areas do you want to explore, and what do you want to see?
So definitely Kelly more developed. I really like how firm she was about getting off the bus in this episode. It was like the culmination of like firmness, assertiveness, and also just like that scene with the police was very timely.
It was timely, but it wasn't well done.
It was kind of tacky, but
it was rushed.
Tell us more.
But
I definitely think that Kelly needs to develop outside of her friendships.
I think that talking about miscarriages and health in the for Black women is going to definitely be a part of next season. I also think dating men with kids is gonna be interesting because everyone has this like love story about what it is they want, and then it's like you have this person, but now they have this person, and like the drama that comes with being not the number one priority. And so it would be interesting to see. I mean, this is gonna sound terrible, but it would be interesting to see Condola go through that miscarriage step, which is terrible to say.
I know.
But it would be interesting for that to play out on a screen because we've never seen that played out for Black women before. But it would be also interesting to see how Issa, our like beloved favorite character, who doesn't make as bad of decisions as Molly, but still pretty bad decisions, how she would navigate dating a man with a kid when that's like some taboo, right? Like that's a huge taboo in our community. That's like something that nobody ever wants to do. So
except for me.
So if there's any single dads out there,
what am I looking for, Bianca?
with full custody,
looking for a
activating
single
Connect because she's looking.
Single dad with full custody and no mom there.
No mom. But I also think it's going to be interesting to see if Issa runs back to Nathan, because for sure, that would be my number one call. And I would be like, goodbye, Lawrence, Nathan, I knew it was us. I hope she doesn't go back to Molly as a friend personally. But, that'll be interesting. And it will be interesting if her and Nathan get closer, but then what happens does Andrew come try and sneak into her relationship through Nathan the way it's gonna be interesting? Or is Molly gonna do the same weird stuff that Issa did through Nathan now? Because I don't know. Sorry.
I think that Molly's relationship with Issa, they'll rekindle because they have to.
Yeah.
Their relationship is paramount to the show. What I do think will be interesting is the development of Lawrence's character in terms of his mental health, because he's finally at a place in his life where he's getting the job. Can he move now? We don't even talk about whether or not this baby and this new step for him means that he has to give up this dream job and this next step, which for him was a big move.
Yeah.
He just stepped into a place in his life where he was just I can do this. I'm ready to get my feet on the ground. I'm becoming more of the man in which I want to be for myself. So I think it's going to be very not weird, but interesting to see how he takes on this new role as a father
and like how he incorporates this into like what his life plan is, because his life plan is gonna have to change.
I think Insecure might hopefully pivot away from Issa and Molly and start really diving deep into male friendships and how they support him through this, right? Because all of his friends are like going through things separately, but they don't really give each other like decent advice. But now, like, who is Lawrence gonna turn to? Because he can't turn to Issa for help. He has to turn to his boys, and his boys are gonna be the ones who have to like help him, similar to what you just said, Dara, like get through that like challenge of giving up where he thought he was gonna be for something that he doesn't want.
You know, let me just say, I don't want that. I don't want a male Insecure, so don't do that, y'all. You know what's interesting? And both of you guys are, you know, talking about the next season as if Lawrence is going to choose, right? Because he has the right. Condola said, you can choose to be in this child's life if you want or not. And you guys are naturally just assuming that he will be.
Well, yeah, because in the previous episode, when he meets up with Issa, they talk about his parents being together and them going on cruises. So he comes from a two-parent household. So most people who come from two-parent households don't automatically not take an active role in their child's life. Like, I don't really
Is that a
see that happening.
What's the source on that?
Okay, well, I would say that there's no source, but like,
I believe you.
There's no source, but like, I just feel like him knowing how he grew up is a lot different for him to not be a father figure for his family.
Yeah, you know, I didn't think about that because I'm like, oh, it's up in the air. He has to, just because I think like as a man you have to, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was
but
thinking.
it's interesting, but because I didn't even think about the reasons why they probably gave us that information about his family being on cruises and all that stuff is to show the relationship that his parents had. Like, that's great. You should have been on the Historian episode too. I'm gonna put you on the other one. Come on, Historian. So I want to go back to something you said, Bianca, because you mentioned that you know, miscarriage is a thing. We haven't seen that on TV, right? So I think that I agree that that is something that would be great to explore. But is that almost like, is that giving a bad image to miscarriages? Because that would be a relief.
Unless she's having twins and only one gets impacted, but you know, I'm not a writer and I shouldn't be.
You shouldn't.
Bruh.
What? Now, what if Issa's pregnant too? What if Issa's pregnant and she gets has the miscarriage, but Condola doesn't? Ooh.
Wait, why do we think Issa's pregnant? Where is that?
Yeah, like I don't want to go into.
Oh no, I was just throwing that out there.
This is too much. And right now, Lawrence doesn't even have a stable enough job to do double child support. So like,
I hope that she lets Lawrence live his life.
I agree.
Lawrence is gonna be upset, and that's gonna be sad, and
He
then
needs
she
to
can
swallow
have
his pride
this
and be
really cute banter with Nathan and live happily ever after in that bougie, busted barbershop.
No.
No. We want Issa and Lawrence together.
We don't want that either. Like,
We don't.
Actually, right. I'm Team Lawrence, you're Team Nathan, and you're Team somebody new.
I'm team somebody new. I really think that like, one, she doesn't really feel for Nathan like that.
Somebody new.
Yeah. He
Ugh.
introduces
Judge
new
her.
characters all the
Team
time.
Nathan.
I don't think that Issa is supportive enough as a person to fully take on Nathan and everything that encompasses him as a person. Like, I don't.
But maybe she needs that. Maybe she needs to learn how to be empathetic because the only relationships she has are ones that let her be very selfish because they're with selfish people like Molly.
How does come around to Molly?
You know I hate Molly.
Y'all,
Molly's been acting really crazy this whole season. I don't know what the writers try to do to like tear us apart from this relationship, but they really wrote in Molly being the worst person in the show.
And you know what?
People
It's
love
crazy.
Molly, right? Like there are women who think Molly's behavior is justified.
There's Molly hives out there. It's literally hashtag Molly hive.
Yeah.
So before we go, I just want to say the writers did say that when they were writing this season, they tried to put equal blame on Issa and Molly. So they were writing in things that Issa did and writing in things that Molly did. Just the public has taken on a lot of the Molly actions, and they think it's because, actually Yvonne Orji mentioned this, it's because Molly is a reflection of them, and they're like, no, that's so far from myself, I don't even want to do it.
That's not true.
All right, y'all, so we're gonna have to figure this. I hope we gave you guys some ideas of what we want to see. Actually, I don't know what really came down to, because we have 3 different ideas, but pick one and make it better, please. Or just, you can use the Dara way and just pick a whole brand new one.
Please
Maybe
pick
bring
a
her a
whole
whole
new
new
person.
boo.
Whole new person.
And we don't mean a new person being a new baby. Give us something more than that. Ladies, thank you so much for joining for my Bouch this season. Like, this is the first one ever. I'm so excited to have you, and I'm so excited that you ladies were here to close us out.
I mean,
Thank
thank
you.
you for having us. The pleasure is all ours, man. We're gonna clap it up for you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Maybe see you next season. I don't know when that's coming, so.
Yeah, let's not take 2 years though.
Girl, I told them to just put some mask on, and then maybe Lawrence won't be fucking and all these other people, and we can actually have a solid episode.
Yeah, and make these
I'm
episodes
done,
an
y'all.
hour.
This gave me a heart attack. Honestly, even though I thought she was pregnant, I still I made that sound in my house.
Yeah, I was in
They
shock.
need to make these episodes at least 45 minutes. Come on.
Nah, I'm not trolling Issa like that. Bye.
I am.